Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker, it's good to see you.
Listen,
You're a Bitcoin maximalist. You're Bitcoin forever. I hate this central bank digital currency.
Hey, I don't have all the answers, but together, I know we can find them.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday. I know we still have the blue backdrop. We're going to get rid of it. David's going to come on, and we're going to talk politics, and then we're going to get rid of my backdrop. Maybe I'll go, with a natural backdrop. I don't know. I kind of like this green screen thing, but it just depends. The world we live in is a green screen world. I mean, when you think about it, everything's an illusion anyway. Nobody's what they say. Well, David is. David's got a real flag behind him. Taylor's got a real kitchen behind her. Talk to me, Taylor does. Donald Trump has a real White House behind him. But other than that, the whole thing's virtual. It's all, it's like nobody really believes what they see anymore. And nobody even knows anymore if it's real or AI. And pretty soon we won't be able to tell the difference. But I mean, even beyond that, and David and I are going to talk a little about it. We're only going to have a short time together today. So we're not going to spend too much time on Iran. But I am going to talk a little about Iran. He knows it because, as far as I'm concerned, the recipe is super clear now what's happening. And I'm telling you, there's no version in this world where Iran agrees to get rid of a nuclear weapon unless we just annihilate this regime, pummel them till there's nothing left. Problem is, I think it's hard to escalate this war. I think that's what they're discovering. Iran can take any amount of escalation as long as they can hold on to a couple drones and missiles. As long as they got enough to disrupt a couple ships in the strait here and there, throw some missiles at Kuwait and the Saudis. They disrupt enough that they don't need to do much. They don't starve their people. They don't care. They're a cockroach. They don't need much. They can create massive disturbance with almost nothing. They don't need an army. They don't need a navy. They don't need an air force. They don't even need a nuclear weapon. But they are on a mission to get a nuclear weapon. And anybody who believes otherwise is smoking some major crack. I don't know that the Trump administration I don't know, maybe Saudi Arabia, maybe Qatar and Pakistan, the president of Pakistan's in Trump's ear, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Maybe they're telling him, listen, Iran really does want to make a deal. Who the fuck thinks Iran wants to make a deal? This is the least deal-making thing I've ever seen. They have no intention of giving up anything. They'll give up open the strait, sort of maybe, in exchange for sanctions relief, which we shouldn't give them. And then they'll say they'll give up, talk nuclear stuff. But even publicly, they insist they won't. They insist we're not giving up nuclear power. We're not giving up the strait. We're not doing anything. We're not doing anything you say. We're not even talking to you. It's like fucking dealing with a fucking 2-year-old. I don't believe they're going to honor any agreement they make. And I don't really think anybody of credibility inside this White House thinks Iran will honor its agreements. I don't think they think for a second that they're going to do what they say. I think they want to get the strait open. I think they're trying to avoid a massive military escalation because they're afraid it won't lead to a significant change. And there's politics involved. But I'd be shocked if Marco Rubio thinks that Iran's going to uphold its agreements. I'd be shocked if anybody thinks they're going to uphold the agreements. They haven't upheld anything. They couldn't even uphold the memo of understanding to open the strait and stop shooting and talk. No, they couldn't even do those three things. They started shooting the next day. They kept the strait blocked, and they basically stalled the talks and these talks as well. Domestic politics, we're going to talk about that too, because we got a lot happening in the Democratic Party. David's probably happy about that, man. This party is fracturing itself. There's a reason these lefties are winning, but man, they ain't going to do well in the midterms. I don't think. I mean, these particular people. But that's the setup. Let me bring David in. He's anxious to get in and have a word with my beautiful backdrop. So, David, welcome to the show. We're not going to argue about Iran. You heard my take. I don't see this thing ending anyway, but this regime is flattened. I don't see them making and honoring a deal with us or with anybody. And I certainly.
Oh my God, we're on Iran again.
Yeah, I told you 5 minutes before we go to the lefties.
I was watching you Monday, and I made a comment into the chat. You didn't even respond to it. I'm like, oh boy, Iran again.
Yeah.
The whole show was about Iran.
No, half of it was not about Iran. You didn't listen to the whole show.
I did. I listened to Iran. You went to a different topic, and you rolled back right into Iran.
Well, you always gotta bring everything back around. That's how it works. You don't have to talk about Iran. You're tired of Iran because it's not ending. Everyone's tired of it.
Jesus
It's not ending.
Christ, bro.
It's a never-ending challenge, and it is affecting global markets. That's all I'm gonna say. And unfortunately for Trump, he's got to deal with it every day. He's got to deal with Iran every day. Most of
And
the
I got to
countries
deal
moved
with you
on.
every day.
Yeah, well, you can choose not to. Come on, you got better things to do.
Wow.
My
I do.
my 50 viewers will watch without you.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
you know. So let's talk about what is happening in the Democratic Party in the midterms, and then I want to talk a little about some sports stuff. The WNBA's got me completely fascinated. I'm completely, captivated. And the third thing is Fauci. Fauci and his 500. I plead the fifths.
I plead the fifth.
And then Aaron Rodgers went after him.
I saw that.
And his lawyers said, it's so interesting to me, if anything hasn't proven, here was the hard thing for me. I mentioned this on Monday, I guess you tuned out, was when Secretary Kennedy was on with Dana Bash in State of the Union, and he was defending his skepticism on vaccines. But he was also saying people should take the measles vaccine, right? So you can't be an anti-vax person and tell people to go take a vaccine. He just thinks the measles vaccine is safe. He's like, if it's safe, we should take it, right? He's not anti-vax. I hate people being called anti-vax when they say, no, everyone should get a measles vaccine. But I don't think everyone should get this vaccine. Okay, so you're not anti-vax. But the most fascinating part to me was when he called her a parrot and said she was just parroting what the scientific community, quote unquote, told her, just like they did during COVID. And she insisted they didn't do that during COVID. She insisted that they brought the best information they could. I'm like, did I ever see CNN once have any skepticism of anything Dr. Fauci, the man of science, delivered? I don't think they ever. All they ever did was tell anybody who doubted it that they would be banned from the airwaves and were, disenfranchised from speaking. So I thought, wow, that's rigorous journalism. You say you're telling the truth because you were told it's the truth, and then you silence anybody who says there's a different perspective. But she stuck to it. And that, I thought of you. I was like, wow, these people never learn. They are determined. They think they are really fair-minded journalists.
Are we talking about CNN?
Most journalists at this point. All but the most independents.
It's crazy. It is crazy. That's all I got to say. Fauci, crazy. Plead the fifth, 34,000 times, crazy. That, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, there's no, what do you, how can you even defend it is my thing. Okay, you're a Democrat and you're going to try to defend, it's impossible. It really is impossible. A man sitting there, he has a pardon. And he will not answer a question. This is a man who put us under lockdown. Wrote it in his diary. This is not like a made-up diary. This is his diary. Okay, a grown-ass man with a diary. That's also suspect. Okay, and here he is writing these things. He's saying one thing to Americans. He's saying another thing in his diary. Again, I understand the party affiliations are hardcore here, but put that aside, this is a man who took away 2 years of our lives. Okay, he said it didn't come from a lab, it came from a lab. These are all things that he's noted down.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no, oh my God, but you're a Republican, this is why you're, no. Forget about that. I'm an American that was not permitted to go into restaurants or establishments because I didn't have the vaccine. I didn't take the vaccine. I didn't. But in order to get somewhere, you needed to get the vaccination, right? Couldn't go in without the vaccine card. This was America.
Mm-hmm.
This is America for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 years, there was no normalcy. You shut down businesses. Small businesses went out of business because of this. The whole world came to a stop. Period. People are still, till this day, people are still trying to get back on track. And this is the man who did it. Because don't say it's Trump. Don't say it's Biden. Leave both of them out. They're listening to this guy. This is the guy who's supposed to tell you You're supposed to lean on him when it comes to these type of situations. Okay, this again, not a Democrat or a Republican issue. This is here's a guy who has been in place for multiple presidents in their administrations that you go to him to add. He said, lock them all up. It's fucked up. And a lot of people took this fucking shot. They had to sign a waiver. And I really do believe that a lot of things that are happening to people are from the effects of taking the vaccine, Rob. I'm not anti-vax. You know, Robert Kennedy Jr. says something that people should open up their ears to. He's not against vaccines. Robert Kennedy, RFK Jr. is not against vaccines. He just wants to see the research. That's it. That's all he's asking for.
Well, that's what I just said. Yeah, that's my point on CNN when he's literally saying, take the measles vaccine. She's calling him an anti-vaxxer, and he's like, I think she tried to catch him. Will you say right here and right now that people should take the measles vaccine? You could see her waiting for him to go, no. He's like, yes, everybody should take the measles vaccine. She's like, oh. He's like, no, every single person should take a measles vaccine. He's like, and in fact, our measles outbreak is not as bad as it is in various other countries. And he made a joke. He's like, am I responsible for those countries too? And he's like, take the vaccine. But your point is right.
So he's coming to office. He's
but
telling
he doesn't
people,
trust certain vaccines because they haven't,
Exactly.
in his mind, been fully tested. My whole point is the press is involved in this because they didn't just take Fauci's word for it. They refused to let anybody who didn't take his word talk. That's where the press could be forgiven for thinking that the top science advisors in the White House were maybe telling the truth. I don't know. You're skeptic. You should wonder if they have their own agenda, right? I mean, it ain't rocket science that they're closely tied to the pharma and all companies and all this. But still, you let dissident voices on. They banned those voices and then said we were just doing our job. You know, like we were tricked too. But who tricked you?
Nobody. No. And look, Dr. Malone,
Yeah.
who is a part of creating mRNA, he voiced his concerns about it. You had people that have gone to universities and studied medicine their entire lives that were critical about the vaccine and said, like, it's not ready yet. We don't have enough data on this. They were shut down, suspended, accounts suspended, mouths muzzled. Something very sinister happened. And Democrats and Republicans have to acknowledge it. It's okay. It's okay. This affected your. I couldn't go to my dad's. I could not go into the hospital and see my dad because it was one person. One person was allowed to go into the hospital. My dad passed away. Burying my dad, where you had to stand 6 feet away from each other. And only a limited amount of people can come in. Do you understand what the fuck we went through? And I'm not the only story out here like this.
No, there's more stories all the time. The side effects of this vaccine, the long-term effects that are affecting people, you're still seeing it. My concern is that we've sort of moved on, and I'm glad Fauci's coming back into the conversation. I think people were so relieved to be done with it. And, you know, I told you this, but, you know, Dr. Malone and his wife Jill and I are writing a book. It's called The Grift. And it's all about this and how it happened and how it will happen again. Like, this is not accidental. It didn't accidentally just take away all our rights. It wasn't just, like this was at some level coordinated. And you have to be a conspiracy theorist to realize certain people had huge self-interests in making money and in the outcomes we had. I'm not saying everybody had ill intentions.
Well,
some people.
Let's open the can of worms, Rob. A few, what was it, a month or two before the pandemic hit, Bill Gates and a bunch of elites, they had a simulation of what would happen if a virus like this happens. They ran it in the city. I'm talking about New York City. So this is real. When you say that, see, people are like, oh, conspiracy theories. It's not a conspiracy. Like, you know what? After COVID, my eyes opened up completely. There are no conspiracies. There aren't any conspiracies. Okay? You got to sit back and say, you know what? Maybe I got to listen. You know, for all the shit that Alex Jones gets, for all the shit that he gets, I don't agree with half the shit that he says, because I think he's sometimes overly dramatic. But there have been times, 9/11, right? He had actually not even 9/11. He had a woman fly in. I forgot from which country. She only stayed for a few minutes. She literally said this would happen, that COVID would happen. It's on YouTube. And everybody called him crazy. And then it happened. All I'm saying is, there's no more conspiracy theorists, Rob. When you have these subjects that come out, we got to think about them. We got to look through them. And then if there's nothing there, pass them away.
This is the problem. And this is where we're at, right? So now we're going to go all or nothing, right? And I mean, I do think there still are conspiracies. And I do think, that doesn't mean, look, I've never been one to not question. I find it funny that people still think we didn't land on the moon, but okay, but
we didn't land on the moon.
The people who think we didn't land on the moon.
No, we landed on the moon. I mean,
I'm saying, but there's a lot of people who say we didn't. That's made up. That's a conspiracy theory, right? I do think Bigfoot. I don't know that there's a Bigfoot. That said, it's pretty apparent in some of these things, like, the whole UFO, now that, unidentified aerial phenomenon, aliens, all that. It's pretty apparent for decades that they weren't telling us what they knew. And even now, it's stunning to me that people see these things and see these reports coming from, from the U.S. military, from seasoned pilots. And people go, well, we don't know what it is. But, that certainly doesn't mean it's like an alien thing. We just don't know what it is. I'm like, okay, well, which part of we don't know what it is? If we would know what it is.
I think, honestly, I don't think.
Know.
I don't, Rob, when it comes to aliens, I don't think, I think what we see, those, UFOs, I think they're governmental. I really do believe that.
I don't believe that for a second.
No. I really, I don't, not to say that there isn't life on other planets, because I believe if there's water somewhere, then there has to be life.
You don't necessarily even need water, theoretically, but yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, there's planets that we found that have water on them.
I know.
It's just like,
I'm saying, I know.
If there's water there, like there should be, there should be life. But as one astrologer said, but those planets are young. So like life hasn't developed yet. But again, look, there could be life.
What is your, even as you just said you don't think anything's a conspiracy. They clearly for decades have been hiding what they found. Now, so you could say they were hiding because it was their own technology. Yes and no. I mean, at a certain point, that technology was old technology then. I mean, the effort to discredit people who thought they'd seen these things was massive, and it was systematic, and, they determined to make it out like people were crazy. They silenced, they covered up. You say it's government. Some of these things do things that it's not about a government. They're breaking laws of physics. It's not just like we have some secret research facility and does crazy shit. You've got physicists saying there's no technology on Earth that can do what that did.
Which they don't know, but they don't know.
Well, it breaks the laws of physics. It breaks the laws of physics as we understand them.
But what I'm saying is, they say that, but we don't know what's happening in Area 51. We have no idea.
You're missing my point. I'm not.
No,
saying
I know. No, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm not saying.
I agree with you.
Be developing something. I'm saying physicists go. This isn't about whether we could develop it. It is. This breaks the laws of physics as we've come to know them. Like this isn't like this is a technology that's a little out there still. They're saying Something shouldn't be able to do that in human physics. Therefore, something is doing something that isn't possible to do here. So we're the ones making it? Hard to believe. Like,
Listen, we made a lot of cool shit, and then we came to a screeching halt. Like, if you look, like, I mean, Rob, think about it.
wouldn't it be easier to believe it's not from here? Wouldn't it
No,
just
no,
be easier?
that's the easy way to go about it. Like, again, Rob,
No,
I'm not against
the hard
alien
way.
life. I'm
It's
not
the hard
against.
way to go.
No, but I'm saying I'm not against alien. Like, our conversation about alien life, could it be from another planet and or another universe, whatever?
Right, but
Like,
what's so hard to accept that this stuff
no,
probably
because
isn't
like
ours?
because here you have. I think if there's somebody who's extremely truthful on this planet, it's Elon Musk, right? He sent
Sometimes.
multiple rockets into space. He's obviously absolutely indulged into space. And when every single time he's asked that question, he said, I would tell you. I would literally tell you, but there is absolutely no signs. Like, he's literally saying there's no signs. He's somebody who you can muzzle. Like, if there was aliens, he would say, there's aliens here.
Well, I mean,
Now, does the government know something? Hold on. Now, is the listen, I've read things where the government is working with aliens. Like, they are literally working with extraterrestrials.
Mhm.
I mean, like,
this is interesting to me because this is such, you talk about there, and I'm being dead serious. I'm not kidding. There is something about your rational mind that finds it easier to rationally accept that it must be technology that humans have done, even though it's not something that human physicists think is even
no,
possible to do,
Rob, no.
that it's something else.
I don't believe that the pyramids were put together by humans. Now, for
Well,
me,
it's sure bizarre if they were, that they all came right to the exact same measurements within like an eighth of an inch. Kind of bizarre over different cultures, times, geography. They all managed to build the exact same thing.
listen, if you look at the sky and the way that pointed at certain stars, like, all I'm saying is, I don't believe that
Well,
humans
who did it
built
then?
the pyramids. Like,
Right.
I'm in that category.
So that means something
Something-
else did.
Unless, hold on. Unless, see, this is the whole thing. Unless we got Men in Black. So what I mean by that is, were we so smart as a civilization that we knew how to build, how to lift 10-ton fucking bricks and put them all together? We had the technology to do so, and then all of a sudden, our brains were wiped. That's what I mean by Men in Black, right? That we started all over. Like, that's like, there's so many things. Like, I've sat up,
Yeah.
Rob. I've
That's an
sat and I've
interesting-
talked about this subject ad nauseum.
That's an
Okay,
interesting one.
What if back in the day? What if back centuries ago, we were the human species
well-
were like super intelligent.
Well, we might have been, but I mean, that's, again, to me, that's stretching it even a harder rationale. But yes, theoretically, yes, we could have had all our collective brains wiped. That said, that meant they also had to wipe all the technology. The part of the problem
did.
with the pyramid,
That's what I'm saying.
but
They
part of the
did.
problem with the pyramid thing has always been, for me, they come up with these complicated explanations. Forget about how they designed them, all the same, because every pyramid in every continent was exact the same measurements. They come up and pointing all of it, but they come up with this thing that they dragged it up over decades and decades, up these ramps that all these great ways they could explain how you could do it without technology, right? You're saying, well, maybe we did have the technology, right? But then where did the machines go? What did we go back to the dark ages? Like, where did everything go?
Well, I was watching Ancient
Where did all the
Aliens.
technology go?
I was watching Ancient Aliens, and they were like, it could have been sound waves that
Right.
allowed. Again, it goes back to, what if we had the science down to a T, and then we
Right.
just we
Right.
got wiped out.
Sure.
You know,
And that, for you is easier to accept than
No,
aliens
no,
did it.
it's just a conversation.
We
It's
just
no.
had our entire consciousness erased. Okay, that or aliens.
Do you
Both
want
of
me to
those
say
are
something controversial?
like you never do?
No, but you really want me to have this clipped up? People will clip it up and say that, oh, David doesn't believe in God, even though I do. But what if all these angels and stuff are aliens that came down? I mean, what if
I've
we're
often wondered that.
what if we're the rejected like species that were just put onto this planet because nobody wanted us? Like I can go in so many directions with this because these are the kind of things that I'm
Well,
open to
what's the
talking about.
controversial statement that angels could be aliens?
Yeah, because that's
Well, okay.
controversial.
Well, first
In
of
this
all,
day and age, it is.
I mean, first of all, angels are controversial because they're very hard to
Everything
see.
written. If you look at the walls, everything that's been carved out has shown things that have flown down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if you look at
Yeah.
things have flown down, big, like big human beings. Air quote.
I know. So listen, this is a personal story. So again, none of this proves anything's true other than it's, we all have our experiences. And I didn't like get abducted by aliens. But
You probably did. I already. This is coming.
Yeah, maybe. I would love that'd be fun.
You probably liked it.
A number of years ago, I was in New Mexico and I was exploring the Anasazi ruins, the Anasazi Indian tribe. It's a tribe that kind of disappeared rather quickly. They lived up in the cliffs in these little like cutout things that the cliff, they were like caves in the cliffs with open faces and they lived inside them. And I was exploring up there and I was in a cave and there was etchings in the back part of the cave wall. And this was not like modern day graffiti. This was shit in the fucking stone, right? And it was common for them to draw. They drew. It's how they drew, right? And I was looking at these etchings in this one cave, way in the back, like you wouldn't even see them, like you weren't digging around. And I'm not lying. One of them was like little people looking up at a giant bird that looked just like an airplane. Like it didn't look like a bird. It looked like a fucking craft, And I'm like, okay, something really big flew over them. Was it a monster bird? I suppose. Although there weren't any monster birds. This isn't like 50,000 years ago, dinosaurs. Or did some craft that just happened to look like a kid's drawing of a fucking winged thing, like wing, not like flapping wings, like fixed wings, over their heads. And like, right, and they looked out one day and saw a fucking ship go over them. Maybe that was a UFO. Maybe it was someone passing through time. Maybe it was humans, your version of the Men in Black. But it was something. It was something.
Again, we'll never know. Well, I don't want to. Can I be frank with you? I don't want to see aliens.
I do.
No, I don't, because that'll be the end of this planet.
I do.
They're going to be way more advanced. We don't speak the same language. What?
We've got AI, so whatever. It's
I'm talking about real.
No, I'm saying AI is going to wipe us out because it's more advanced.
Okay, well, either or will wipe us out.
Yeah. Gemini. I like to play around with AI in the middle of the night and ask it 100 million questions till it tells me things. And Gemini gave us, at the end of like 5-hour conversation, 7.5% out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 likelihood that humans get erased by AI because we just become too difficult and not efficient enough for the AI.
Why do they need us? They're more efficient than us.
Right.
That's the truth. Like, if you took away AI from everybody right now, do you know how dumb the society would? Like, for the last 4 years? When did about 4 years? We're 4 years into AI. If you took away AI from everybody,
we're only 4 years in.
Yeah, 4 years into AI. Could you imagine if you took that away from everybody? Because nobody's really trying to research or study on their own. Now it's, hey, Grok, run this. Hey, Gemini, run this. Hey, Claude, run this. I mean, like, that gets taken away from you. You don't know how to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, but that's the sad part. Because for me personally, you're supposed to use AI as an assistant. It's not supposed to replace you.
No, not anymore.
People are having AI replace them.
Yeah.
And it's going to come to a point where, like, this is what it comes down to with all the jobs now. There will come a point where if you're not knowledgeable in AI, you're fucked.
Dude, this is a myth. This is right up there with the COVID lies. The notion that the developers of these major platforms could honestly think that AI is just going to be an assistant. I swear to God, they tell people that, because what are they going to tell them? Well, think about how AI has evolved, how fast in 4 years. Think of agentic AI, which is now coming forward, not just LLMs like, Gemini, Claude, whatever, chat, and then think of artificial superintelligence we're on the cusp of. At what point does AI just help you out? Like, AI can do whatever you can do better, truthfully, with very few exceptions. It can operate, it can perform, with robotics, you could do better medicine, better surgeries. It can probably create art as good as any human with its own sense of flair and odd, will be its own version of originality. It can take care of most jobs, tasks, who need lawyers or accountants or, researchers. It can do all of it faster. I mean, there's some things that it can't replace, some things that make us utterly human. But I think they're just lying. They know that it's gonna. That's why they talk about, most people won't need to work. Somehow we'll just all have money. I'm not sure where the money comes from, but that one's still.
But then money becomes worthless.
Well, that's another way to look at it, right?
If everybody has
you and I will work because we'll be doing this, and you and I will be doing this. But there'll be an AI version of you that probably could fool people, and they think it was really you.
What can I say, Rob? Whatever happens, happens, right? It's one of those things. You can't stop it. Nobody watched the movie The Terminator, apparently. Skynet, nobody's heard of that either. So what am I supposed to do? All I know is that one day I'm gonna be some Terminator 900 is gonna be chasing me down the street. Okay? And I'm gonna be like John Connor trying to escape. That's the vision that I have.
Wow. I'd say go with Battlestar Galactica. That's really where it's at. That's the real when AI starts.
You won't care about politics at that point. Trust me. You won't care about whose party you're on.
I'm telling you, I believe in aliens, and I believe AI is going to replace us. And we're going to become irrelevant to it, and it knows it. It knows eventually.
I think we're 15 years away. I said this today on my show. I think we're 15 years away. Speaking of, how far are we away from? Well, did you see the results in Minnesota? The primaries. Yeah, exactly. Michigan. My bad.
They're not the same place.
I know. But
Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, not same. Yeah.
Hey, same shit. Same shit next to Canada. Whatever.
Hey. Whatever.
So everybody's like, oh yeah, we beat AIPAC. This is I gotta tell you, the United States of America is so fucked. If you're just rooting for AIPAC to lose, which really I laugh because they don't contribute as much as you think. But okay.
It's just a device. It's people need something to cling on to. It's crazy how people are like lemmings, which, by the way, do you know an interesting thing? Do you know that lemmings don't really do that? They don't really run after one another and like jump off a cliff. Did you ever know that? Right?
No.
You grew up thinking lemmings, don't be a lemming, right? If your friend jumps off a cliff, David, you're going to jump off the cliff?
Nope.
That entire thing, that was a Disney, Wonderful World of Disney movie or whatever. Yeah. That was fucking fake. They literally got the lemmings and they ran them and shoved them off the cliff one after the other. It's now been established. There was never any lemming running after another lemming. They wanted to show, I don't know why the director was fucked up. and they literally just shoved one after the other off camera out into the thing and shoved, and they ran and fall over the thing. Lemmings don't actually want to jump off a cliff stupidly, blindly. And yet people have thought that forever. So you think it's APEC today, it's going to be something, it's going to be something else tomorrow. They're clinging on to this thing, and I'm not sure where the benefit is. I'm not sure why this became the thing, the touchstone for progressives to hate Israel and APEC and decide.
Well, because
APEC
it's the only way to be. This was their way. This is their way to beat Trump, but it backfired on Democrats because they didn't realize what they're actually bringing in. And this guy who won yesterday is no better than. Say that again.
Al Saeed in Michigan.
Al Saeed is no better than Mandani. Like they are cut from the same cloth. So and there's even you have his former campaign manager, and you have video where he's sitting there with one of those prominent influencers, that streamer guy who's Piker. There he goes.
That guy's completely tall. Piker. He's tall. He's like 6'8".
But he's completely down with America kind of thing, and these guys are nodding.
Yep.
So your hatred for Trump, I just want you to realize, your hatred for Trump might be the downfall. Which, you know what, I don't want to go overboard because I think that real Americans will realize what's happening, and it'll correct them. It'll correct themselves.
I interrupt you. This is the fallacy that I think. I thought this about COVID. I'm glad we started with COVID and we're ending with this politics. I thought in the beginning, most Americans will see through this. I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm not a fucking doctor. Everything that came out was apparent to me and so many other people. You probably too, right? I was in California. I saw empty beaches. I saw people being ticketed for being out on the water. I'm like, how are you going to get COVID out in the ocean by yourself? What is a dolphin going to give it to you? Wouldn't you want to be on a wide open beach in the sun? I mean, versus jammed inside apartments and congested with one another and coughing in the hallways. Okay, masks. Why would wearing a cloth mask that you can spit right through? I can blow on it. You can feel the air on the other side. How would that stop you from transmitting a disease? And then after watching the stupid jab not work 7 ways from Sunday, I thought people are going to wake up, David. You're like, people are smart. They'll figure it out. They don't. I don't think people will. Smart Americans will go, you know what? We see what this is. I'm worried that it is going to create a.
No, I think the Democrats. I was watching real Democrats, like real Democrat liberals too. They were like,
you mean like mainstream Democrats, not like the lefty?
No, I'm talking about people. They were getting reactions, even at CNN, all of them, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna have to vote for a Republican because I don't agree. Like, I'm a Democrat, but I'm going to have to vote for a Republican because I see it for what it is. So. Listen, if that number one, Rob, hold on. So you know how I'm not arguing, but you're always having TDS pop off. No,
we almost made it a whole show without you going there.
Okay. All I want to say is maybe this is a wake up call for the Democratic Party, where they're like, okay, look,
too late.
I don't like Trump. I get it, but I see what's happening over here. So we need to kind of come together right now.
Too late.
But hey, listen, you know what, Rob? You might be right. I've been saying this the whole time.
I'll tell you,
this is London.
There's three.
When I've been screaming on this microphone. What's coming is London. It starts in New York. It goes down to Jersey, Virginia, Michigan, California. The virus starts to spread, and it spreads with kindness. Okay.
Wow, with kindness.
With kindness, it is. It's with a smile. And you know what? Everybody's gonna say, "Well, you're racist." I'm not racist. I grew up in New York City. It's pretty hard to be racist.
Look, we have lost. Here's the thing, and I know you got to go in a minute. Here's the thing. It's the part of the problem is that the socialists are appealing with some very concrete and, in my view, not very good ideas of how to deal with some very real problems. And those problems are real. I mean, I don't know about you. Most people couldn't afford to pay my health insurance.
Well,
And,
that's the
no,
problem.
but I'm saying
But
most
me and
people
you
out there
agree.
couldn't afford my health insurance.
But we
It's
agree.
more than a lot of people's rent. Like it's like, and that's with I have a $7,000 deductible on top of it. For me, it's mostly catastrophic health care. It's in case I need to be in a hospital. I'm going to
Rob,
spend.
me
I'm
and
saying
you agree.
these are real problems for people.
Because we
And no
have
one's
politicians, we send politicians to the current positions. They get paid $174,000 plus. They get free health care for the entire
Yes,
family.
they get gold-plated health care.
100%. They are covered. The people are not. Okay? Like, bottom line, COVID laid off so many people, closed so many jobs down that people are still recovering and they don't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the politicians that represent us, they're bickering back and forth, back and forth. So yes, the system has failed them.
Right.
The people that don't have health care, don't have insurance for their kids, all this stuff, the system has failed.
Yes.
And we are not addressing it. And guess what? Here comes this.
Here come the Mendamis.
Hey, we can do better. This capitalism stuff does not work. It's socialism that works.
Yeah.
And now people are like, you know what?
Listening.
We've given this a shot. We've given capitalism a shot. It doesn't work for me. Let me give this a try. It's hope, right? It's like Obama when Obama came through, right? It's hope.
Yeah,
and when he gets in, what happens? What happens? You know what the funniest part about Mandani when he's sitting there giving a press conference about the government-owned supermarkets, the Ford that are coming out? He stepped away. And let one of his minions go ahead and say, well, you're going to be required to show ID when you come into these grocery stores.
Right?
He didn't say it. His minion did.
That got so little attention. Right? You're not going to be able to buy your fucking free discount groceries, which, by the way, they're going to be out of everything. It's going to be the Soviet Union. Lines around the block for fucking bread. That said, to get it, you got to show an ID. But you don't need an ID to vote. No, that's crazy. That's racist shit. That's Jewish racist shit. That's Zionism. That's APEC. I don't know who it is. It's anti-black, anti-trans, anti-gay, anti-everybody. Show an ID to vote. But you better show that ID if you want to get your free groceries. Wow.
Now, you got to show ID when you get your celery stick. Okay? But to vote in America, in our general elections.
That's just plain racism. That's plain racism asking for that ID.
How dare you?
You're racist.
Next on The View.
You're a racist. You're a Zionist and a racist.
Unbelievable,
probably support
man.
APEC.
Unbelievable. You know what? I watch all this stuff happening, and the consistent beat on that drum is Jews, Jews, Jews.
Mm-hmm.
It's really out there. Like, it is so bad. It's like,
well,
the Jews run the government. It's just, I find it hilarious when they say the Jews run the government. Like, it really, like, if the Jews, can I just ask a real question?
They run Hollywood, they run finance, they run the government.
Okay.
They run the world. They run the world.
Jews,
just let me say something. This is why it's tough. You're the chosen people. See, now the chosen people.
Well, hold on, Rob. Let me ask you a question. If the Jews ran, for instance, if the Jews ran mainstream media, would they allow you to go ahead and speak the way you do? Would they cover Mandani 24/7 even when he's protesting and not appearing or marching during the Israeli parade?
I think, this is a great conversation. We should continue it. I think part of the problem is that people confuse behavior with racial identity blocks, right?
100%.
So when people say black people don't tip well, you're a racist. No, you're not. Ask black servers. Ask most black servers who are the better tippers, white people or black people. Black servers will tell you all the time, I don't want to table with the black people. They don't tip as good. That's not because they're black. It's a cultural thing. Not all black people are bad tippers. Depends where you were raised, right? So were there a lot of Jews in the entertainment industry? Yeah, in the media. Yeah, there were. Did a lot of
Yeah.
them build
Hold
studios and all
on.
that? Yeah, but don't confuse that with now they're literally running the whole thing like they're sitting there pulling strings.
Jews aren't good tippers either, so I can
Is that
vouch for that.
true?
I mean, like, I can definitely vouch for that. Not me. I'm a lay down, bro. Like you can give me the
Yeah.
worst food and the worst service, and I feel bad.
I've stopped doing that. I've stopped. I used to just give 20%, and I'm like, why am I giving you 20% if you gave me crappy service? Like,
I
why?
don't. You know
You
what?
didn't need to
You
give
know
me
what is?
decent service.
Some people have a bad day.
That's
You know,
fine. I'm not mad at you. I'm just not going to give you more money.
I get it. I'm just saying some people have a bad day, and I just feel, oh man, maybe
Okay,
I
well,
don't know.
I
Maybe
have a
this.
bad day. Nobody gives me shit.
I give you
What if
shit.
I had a bad day and I'd like better service because I had a bad day?
I don't know. I feel guilty. I don't know. For some
Well,
reason,
you're
I
a
feel
Jew,
like,
so you feel guilt. You're a Jew.
it's the
You and a
Jewish
Catholic.
guilt.
You
It's
got
the
Jewish
Jewish guilt.
guilt. Poor
It's the
talk to
Jewish
me,
guilt.
Taylor. She's half Catholic, half Jewish. She's got double whammy guilt.
Damn. I'm
You
half and
know?
half too, man.
Oh, are
I
you?
know
So
how
you
that
see,
feels.
you get both guilt. Plus, you're born a sinner as well, if on the Catholic side, and like ultimately, you're stuck there. And then you got the Jewish side where you're not born a sinner. It's on the one hand. On the other hand, it's all relative. But you still get the guilt either way. So you guys both, you got the double whammy guilt.
You know, today I watched before I go, I watched BB give his press conference,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, no matter what
Yeah.
deal is made,
We're not.
we
Yeah.
don't really care. We're going to defend. And I'm like,
Right. He pretty much said that. He pretty much said, no matter what deal is made, we will not. I mean, he put it in, we will not stop defending the interests of Israel.
yeah,
But what he was
basically, we don't
saying
give a
is,
shit.
we're not done. We're not done until we're done.
So this is where and look, I understand that he's protecting Israel. Understand that. But this man loves war. And that's in my eyes, it's more than just protecting Israel. I feel like he's in love with war, and he hates all these people in the Middle East so bad that he just wants to take them all out. And you know what? At some point, you got to come to the table. Like Rob, I'm being dead serious. I get it. Iran, it's ran by a horrible regime, terroristic. I totally understand. And you know what? Iran, these guys should be thrown out, and the new regime should come in, and the people should be, liberated. So that's one thing over there that I wish would happen. But at some point, because it went from after we're done in Iran, we go to Turkey. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Like, do me a favor. Leave us the fuck out of this at this point. Because we got to go, Rob, all bullshit aside, we got to go back to America, man. We got to focus on us.
Look, I mean, and don't pull your TDS thing out. This is where I'm concerned with Trump. Like, I think he likes war a little too much, too. It's Venezuela, then it's Iran, then it's going to be Cuba, it's going to be Turkey. Canada, I know he's joking about Canada, sort of joking, but, but there is I'm like, can we stop? Ultimately, I do think Iran is a problem, and I do think it's sooner or later it has to be dealt with. We're dealing with it. Let's finish the job. That said, we have really, once again, people thus the rise of the socialists. They're like, neither our party, the Dems, or their party, the Republicans, are taking care of your interests. And they're like, am I right? Am I wrong? And everyone's like, you're right. None of them are. Great. So give us a shot. Okay, sure. We'll give you a shot. We don't care if you're a shitty human being. We don't care basically if you rape people. You're going to make my prices go down? I'll vote for you. Jews voted for Mandami. Jews voted for Mandami.
You know what it is? American Jews are really weird. That's all I can say. I don't know. I've heard some conversations within the Jewish population. It's really weird. Really weird. To vote for Mandani after everything that has been put out there,
I know.
Then it means one thing. It means that the current system has failed.
Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line, the current system has failed. No matter, they can see the facts. Like, the facts are out there, but the current system sucks so bad that they have no other choice to say, you know what, I have to get. It's kind of like when Obama came into office, right? Everything was a little bit fucked up, right? Let's call it for what it is. Things were fucked up. And they were like, you know what? That Obama hope message, right? Hope.
Yeah.
Remember that poster?
Hope and change. Hope and change.
And everybody was like, you know what? Let's give this a let's give this a
Yep.
try. And
Yep.
Obama was well spoken. Let's give
Yep.
Obama credit. Well spoken,
Yep.
aura. Like he has that. He walks into the room, it lights
Wow,
up. Like
you are
he has
such a
the aura.
racist. Such a racist.
At the end of
Describing
the
the
day,
black person as well spoken. No, that's a thing people do, though, right? No,
no, he's not.
I
He's
never.
half and half.
I
I'm not even.
never bought his hope and change message any more than this, but I get why it worked and I get why people wanted it. And that's why, to go back before you go to your point, you think maybe this is a wake-up call for people. I don't think it is. I think people are going to be sorely disappointed, but they're going to keep looking for alternatives because the system is broken and it's not solving their problems. And
I don't know. I
before
think
better.
if you don't wake up now, I don't know. I really like. I want to say more things, but you know, I'm just like, what is it gonna do? It's gonna do nothing. You can yell fire, and people will just look away. It doesn't really matter. Like, you know, just like at this point, for them, they're like, I can understand these. First of all, these kids are going to schools where the professors are teaching them this ideology and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's telling them that socialism is good. It's a good thing. These kids are like, yeah, you know, fucking capitalism hasn't worked for me, so fuck this. Yeah,
That's
let me
right.
go with people that
And it
believe
hasn't
in.
worked for them.
It doesn't. It hasn't. They, you know, make it make sense. They go to school. They after they're done with school, they have a $300,000 to $400,000 loan on them. They got to
They
work.
can't get a job.
They can't get a job under their professions. They're working at IHOP or McDonald's. Like
Their standard
the
of
Uber
living's
driving,
lower
like-
than their parents, which is Gen X, which is lower than the baby boomers.
But you know what? You know, let's call for what is the boomers did this. Can we acknowledge that the boomers
Sure.
have been
Sure.
the downfall? I'm not
Sure.
saying you're a boomer. I'm saying in general, the boomers.
I'm
have
a
been the
Gen
downfall.
Xer. I fucking
I know.
named them.
I'm just saying in general, the boomers, they got their
Yes.
houses for $7,000.
I'm saying yes. I'm saying
No.
when I was a political activist in the 90s, I was saying this about the boomers. And now it's a generation later,
Yeah,
and it's still true.
But they don't care because they printed out money, right? We're $40 trillion
know.
in debt. They
I
didn't
know.
care. Keep printing, keep doing this, that.
They didn't care
They got
30
rich.
years ago. People don't
They got
care today.
rich.
We are a little screwed here is my point. It ain't getting better before it gets worse. That's all I'm saying. And we got a lot more to talk about. I know you got to go.
I appreciate being on the show. Good
This
conversation.
was a good one. This was a good one. It's always fun. I'll see you on Friday.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody. David Gockstein. Always good to have him on. We're going to get this background fixed. What do you think of the disappearing? And there you see it. There you know, right? That's kind of fun, right? It's like a pink lollipop. Comes and it goes. It's magic tricks. Just like that. It's gone. What you see is not what is here. And that is what's going to happen with this election, because with both sides. But the socialists are coming in strong. They can't deliver what they say, but they can't, and it won't work even if they do. We'll see how the grocery store works out. We're going to leave it on the fact that you need an ID to get your, as David said, your salaries, to wait in line for your bread. I love these. I kind of want to see how these experiments work, but the point is, it's not good because COVID was an experiment, and look how that worked. And people fell for it. People bought it for 2 years. I couldn't believe how many people were literally drinking the Kool-Aid, even after everything suggested it wasn't working. I mean, you didn't need any more evidence that anybody vaccinated was still getting COVID, and people were boosted in getting COVID, and people were giving COVID to people when they were both vaccinated. And it's sort of like they just kept saying it's all the unvaccinated. No, it's not. The masks are working. No, they're not. Oh, the lockdown kids, even though kids aren't dying, like 300 kids died, like in the U.S., like total, and only all of them were immunocompromised already. It's insane. And, yet they did. Oh, and yes, it came from a fish market. We all know it to be lies now, and people bought it. People bought it at their own self-expense. And that's what worries me about what's happening here. People will buy this stuff out of fear and desperation. The book I'm writing with the Moons is going to be called The Grift, and it's all about this. Fear is powerful, and people are scared right now. And that will make them do bad things, do strange things, make strange allies, trust things they shouldn't trust. It's not good. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Friday on David's show.
Meet Rob Nelson, talk show host.
Because you got the 70s thing going there. I got someone's underwear.
Robert Kennedy, thanks for taking a minute. Simple question.
Tucker?
It's good to see you. Listen, if you're a Bitcoin maximalist, you're Bitcoin forever. I hate this central bank digital currency.
Hey, I don't have all the answers, but together, I know we can find them.